So you're telling me that just not sleeping on time can actually mess up our hormonal imbalance. It can cause hormonal imbalance.
Absolutely.
And it can have that effect on our menstrual cycle, and plus it will have an effect on our hormone health.
Absolutely. There is something called HPA axis and HPO axis. It means the hypothalamus in the brain.
Yeah.
Then comes the pineal gland. And then comes the ovaries and adrenals. They all work in sync.
In sync.
Absolutely. And
Wow.
they respond to what we see, what we visualize. So why do we see girls having periods as early as 10 and 9 and 11 years old now? The visual stimulation given to these young girls is way different from what you and me saw. What did we see? Dolls, sand, rain, grass, farms, water.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did we play with? We made things. Steel ke chote bartan. Our exposure was different. Now, what are we exposed to? If we look at the songs and their videos, that itself is too much to cause stimulation in the brain.
True.
And that's why when I get young girls, I always tell the mother, stop the TV at 9 p.m., please. Because
thank you for that tip. Yeah.
It's working in the brain. And that triggers your hypothalamus and then the pineal gland. Ultimately, they produce hormones in a bad balance and then they affect the ovaries.
Yeah. So true. Yeah. Sleep disorder can cause so much of all those things. And we treat the phone as our extension body part. That means it's going wherever we are going, whether we are going into the toilet or into the bedroom. It is with us. You know? Yeah. So somewhere we need to make sure that we get rid of it for at least for some 8 to 10 hours, wherein we are getting good sleep. That's what you mean. That was such a wonderful tip and wonderful revelation that we all had now with you.
As far as Vasuji, your sleep pattern goes, no, there is one thing which I would like to note here, which goes for all women. See, if the kids are watching it, we know we are also watching TV. What do we do once we reach home after work or after we're free? We talk to our parents back home or friends somewhere abroad. We are also doing the same thing. Because that's
we had chores to do at home.
Exactly, right? So what happens? When you, I say sleep is something like a miracle, okay? It produces a hormone called melatonin, and that does your repair work. That keeps you young, plain and simple, right? It regenerates, repairs. For example, we have potholes in a road. Are they repaired in the daytime or they are better repaired at night when there's no traffic?
Yeah, true.
So same sleep does the repair work of the body at night. And what are we doing nowadays? Gradually reducing our sleep hours by late, right?
Yeah.
So that's the mess we are creating. So my first treatment for all my clients with any hormonal issues is start sleeping 7 to 8 hours continuous. Keep your blue light gadgets away at least an hour before you go to sleep. And that's one of the most difficult tasks. That's why I give it to you.
It's very difficult. True. Switching off the gadgets and being away, what we will do for that 1 hour? That's the question now everybody will ask. You know? But what we used to do, we used to either play a game, read a book, study for the next day. All those things is what we were doing. So taking that, because I already heard about this from someone for last few months or years, I've been reading late in the evening, even though my eyes are not so great in the evening, but I switch off and try and read, or of course, before going to sleep, I also try and meditate. So that is such a wonderful tip, and you reassured me today that I'm on the right path, and I hope that all the young girls out there are listening to you and are taking this tip from you, that first and foremost to correct the sleep pattern. Okay, so does it, you said the PCOD can become PCOS. So if it is not diagnosed or if it is not taken care of, then it will turn into PCOS. That's what you meant earlier?
Yes. So what happens here is PCOD is basically a lifestyle-related disorder. You correct your eating pattern. You correct your
PCOD, you're saying.
Absolutely. Right? So when Google says PCOD has no cure, I say it doesn't have a cure. There is a reason for that statement. I don't know why Google says it, but my reason is there is no cure because the cure is the person themselves, the girl, the mother, the family themselves. How far they are ready to move and help the child, the woman, to heal herself so that she can cure herself. That is the motto. So your cure is in your own hands, not in any tablet. For example, I put the girls, young girls and women of PCOD on tablets, even if they don't want to conceive. My first underlying statement is if you're ready for lifestyle changes, I stand with you. If not, be ready to take the tablets for your
That's a good one. So when you say lifestyle, there is also food comes in, isn't it? Because the sleep is, you have already told us how to correct the sleep.
That's
so
the first. Food is my
food part. There are GMO foods all over the world, right? Everybody can't afford organic food. So what do we do then?
So basically, we do know that the higher the brand, the higher the price. Understand there are chances the higher it is GMO also.
Okay.
I'll be plain and simple with that.
Maybe more processed.
Vendors, local vendors. For example, I switched over to natural homemade masalas from India. When I go, I bring a bulk of them. I cannot tell you there is zero gastritis, zero intestinal symptoms, and fantastic taste.
Yeah.
To the local vendors rather than going to supermarkets and bigger places where it has come through loads of chains of people. So the price increase is not because it's organic. The price increases because there are lots of people along the chain who are being fed. That's how it works. We need to understand it.
That's true. You're giving an economics lesson. Wonderful. So basically, you're saying that the simpler the food, the better it is, and fresher the food, better it is, right?
Yes.
Not on the shelf for so many months. Okay. That's also a wonderful tip. And we do tend to eat a little bit of, fast food here and there. But once in a while, I think you'll allow us, right?
Here and there, my patients sometimes reply back to me, Doc, it's not here and there, it's there. Then here is one good food. Again, there, it's all junk, and then there is one good food. So yes, cutting down on the processed foods. I don't even call them junk or fast foods. All foods are good when you have it in the right proportion at the right time. A burger might not be that good at night, but it's fine if I choose to have a burger in the morning because I'm going to digest it. I've given my body that time. But the worst part is our heaviest meals are in the night. And so we ruin things for our body.
True. I think it is processed so much that it can be only put in the junk. That is why it's called junk food.
Exactly.
That's my definition for it.
But you can make the same vada pav or burger at home from scratch. That's not junk. Because you know what has been put in it. Most don't know what they're putting. It's all filled with processed. That's the problem with those foods. So they cause inflammation in the body. And PCOD has a low-grade inflammation continuous from the day it starts.
So that means there is a permanent cure of PCOD is lifestyle changes, and you assure that to all the girls out there, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So what is the future of all those girls who are facing PCOD now? Will it affect their pregnancy, or they have to do gynec visit when they are young itself to check what is happening in them? Because we don't have that kind of culture where when the girls are young, we visit gynecs, and even the girls don't. Everything about women's hormonal problem is a taboo, because the girls, I don't know how and why, when the younger girls, you tell them, come, let's go for a checkup to gynec, the girl will say no only. Nothing is wrong with me, I won't come, because they will stop from there. So what is that we can do to help these girls to make it as if this is part, because that didn't happen to us. So that should not be, we should not pass on to them. How to make this, because it's not going anywhere. We will, as a women, we have to have this every month. We have to do it, and it will continue, right? So what can we tell these girls? What will be the first step? Do they go to a gynac visit? Will the gynac educate? Or should we do, I have this vision and future that I want to see, where women doctors like you take up research on hormonal, imbalances, hormonal changes, and educate more and more. And just now in the introduction, I already heard that you have a WOW program, and I think you are the right pick for this forum too. So how do we also bring more and more gynac to do more and more work on this, and out there we help more girls? How do we do that?
Okay, so let's start with the young girls reaching a doctor. The first and foremost, the mother is the only one who can mend ways for this. So there's a lot of burden on the mother's shoulders, right? Now, how does she go about it? Because as soon as the girls turn into teenagers, they are a revolt against you, right? They rebel for the smallest things. Now, there are two things working here, which I will bring in, which is a practical approach. When the child is going through early periods, the mother is going through perimenopausal or hormonal changes.
You nailed it.
Now, who is going to let go first? It's obviously mothers. Right? So we need to first let the girls know that when they are facing a trouble, they need to come to the mother. Nowadays, what they do is they go to their friends. They and the friends go on Google, and the Google Mata tells them how to deal with things. Right? Instead, we need to create a rapport in such a way that the child first comes to you rather than searching for other easy solutions on social media, because social media is an instant gratification. You ask social media, why am I having pain in periods, and it will come with a 50-liner article, right? Which can misguide the children. So opening up the closed doors is the first important step, which I say at every single talk. Open the doors, communicate. We have lost that communication, right? As soon as we dinner, everybody's in their respective rooms saying we are getting ready to sleep. Nobody's getting ready to sleep. Almost everybody is on this, right? So we all have to open the doors, and I especially say the father also should open the doors, because I've seen fathers and daughters have a very special bond, right? But if the bond is open to talk, the child comes up to you. Otherwise, they go to the wrong sources.
That means we have to educate men also then first.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because without educating the men, we can't bring them on board.
Yes, you cannot. So, because we need to understand PCOD is a silent pandemic going on, and girls and women are the future generation. If you don't tell the men, it's so easy. You see, I have seen when I go to schools for taking lectures, the boys will very easily say, oh, she had PMS.
Yeah.
Or she's PMSing. She's about to get periods. Something or the other. So it's a taboo, and even girls don't want to talk about it. So just like a mother has to open the doors to the daughter, I feel, again, the mother and father are equally responsible to make the
and
boy.
Even the brothers. I mean, it can be the whole family education, isn't it?
Yes. So I have so often the wife will come and say, he always tells me I'm PMSing in front of the children, doctor, what I will teach, which is the truth. Right? So the education starts at every small level.
Yeah.
And that's why it's created into a silent pandemic. Nobody wants to talk about it. So it's brewing inside like coffee brews. But coffee comes up good after brewing. PCOD doesn't. That's the problem.
So because as it is, we have so many women already in this group, but many of them I know that are not comfortable talking about it. So it is a taboo for women itself. Now you're talking about men coming in and, talking about their education, which is more difficult. The next most difficult step is that, because I don't remember ever after, we say she grew up, when you get your periods, they say, after that, you're not allowed to hug your father. At least nowadays, girls are still hugging their fathers and, still say, have the, but we are not supposed to hug our fathers or brothers from the culture that I come in, and I know that there are many, many women out there who who have been there, and their husbands and brothers, and they are still there. So how can we educate this? Because we can start with mother and daughter. That relationship I can understand, you're right. But how do we start a family talk when nobody's ready about it, So it is a difficult thing still. What I will do is I will open the question to the audience, and let's see whether any of the audience have facing all these problems and whether they have a question for you related. I still have a loads of question in my sheet because this topic is so very vast. But we will try and take for next 15 minutes the questions. And in case they don't come up with the questions that I have in the sheet, I'll come back to ask you. Okay.
There's a suggestion which I will give to the forum. At any point, you can just put in my visiting card there. I think I forwarded it to Miss Anjali because I saw that some people were asking questions there. Yes, they can just take a think of this because not everybody wants to talk about this on a forum, as you just now rightly said.
Correct. Yes.
So they can reach up to me. I have no problems. My personal number is there. My clinic number is there. My email is there. Or they can right away come and meet me. Not a problem at all.
Yeah, we'll be showing this for a longer time when we are ending the session also. So I hope everybody stays back and, notes down the number. And also, if you don't want to ask the question directly to the doctor, and as I said, it's a taboo topic, I understand more than anybody. Okay, so put it on our personal chat, either put it to Devi or put it to me, and we can ask for you without mentioning your name. Okay, so over to you, Devi.